Alright, so there I was driving down the road the other day delivering packages for Amazon. It's what I do. But I was thinking to myself about the current situation with Melee within Escape from Tarkov. And what I mean by that, the lack of Melee within Escape from Tarkov. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of tools within the game, but when it comes to actually using those, we don't use them. And then I started thinking to myself, how many dildos am I delivering in the back of this van right now? But for today's video, we're going to be focusing on the Melee meta of Escape from Tarkov. We're going to be talking about where it is currently. We're going to be talking about where it came from, how it was first introduced, or at least the first iterations of how the whole thing with Melee started out, and where have we progressed, which is where we currently are right now, as well as where Melee could possibly go in the near future. By the way, I also stream every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time over on twitch.tv/DiffuseMaverick. You can catch me live over there at those times. As well as please hit that like button and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are going to try to get this up to the first 1,000 subscribers, hopefully very soon. Let's go ahead and get back into the video for the Melee meta, everybody. Now, if you are new to Escape from Tarkov and you had just recently started playing in general, then you probably know that Melee just kind of sucks in general because of the fact that if you go out with a melee weapon and nothing else, and I mean literally nothing else on your character whatsoever, you are literally penalized for doing so. And there is reasons for that that I will get onto later on in the video. You see, Melee used to be a lot better than what it is currently. Your strength skill used to progress a lot faster than it currently does right now. And your strength also plays a lot when it comes to your melee as well. And you may be thinking to yourself, but Mav, there's a whole bunch of melee weapons, and some of them say they do more damage, some are way bigger than other ones. And yes, this is definitely very true. Some of them do more damage than the others, especially like if you're using the machete or the tactical sword. They do far more damage than your rinky-dink little knife that you can take out with you, or that you start with. But in general, for the most part, Melee just sucks in general. And the thing is that not too long ago, we did get an update that added a lot of new melee weapons, and then more recently was added the Red Rebel. Another thing that you might be thinking, well, all you have to do is get your strength up, and that will be able to give you more power with your melee. Yes, that is definitely true, but the problem is that about time you take a melee weapon out and try to swipe it at any guy that's running around with a AS Val or VSS or SA58 or some M4 with M995, or you're coming across these really beefy boys out there that have beef armor on, face shields, everything. There used to be a tactic to where you could be able to take them down with melee, but with the way melee currently is right now, you can't do anything about them whatsoever. It's literally beating a tank with a stick, and you know how that goes. Stick's not going to win against a tank. A lot of the older players like me are definitely going to remember the days back in the day when you could go out with melee and do some stuff with it. You could go out and get gear, you can kill players, you can kill scabs. You can't do that anymore really at all. You gotta be really lucky nowadays, or the person that you come across just sucks in general, or the scab just somehow breaks its AI to where it just doesn't do anything. That's basically the only way that you can win with a melee tool in the game. Now, something I do want to talk about, and it's something that I like to refer to as the Red Rebel problem, and that is the fact that since they introduced the Red Rebel, there's not really a reason to go for any other melee tool in the game, because basically the whole point for melee, or at least melee tools, is to try to get to a point to where you can get the Red Rebel ice pick, and then that's it. You don't have to care about anything else, because the Red Rebel has a use, which is for extracting on reserve or extracting on woods, and no other melee tool gives you that option whatsoever. So in general, as it is right now, as it stands right now, melee is honestly more of a paperweight. It is just a item that is in your pocket or up your rectum or something like that, wherever it is situated on your character's body. Yeah, you can pull it out and brandish it against other people, but they're just gonna shoot you, and they're gonna shoot you before you even pull it out. You could try doing that against a scab, but same thing, scab doesn't care whatsoever. And yes, I am saying that melee is useless in its entirety right now. The only use for melee is the fact that you can get the Red Rebel and use it as an extraction tool. That is it currently at the moment. So to get into a little bit about how melee used to be in the game, it used to be a factor of, were you a EOD edition person or were you a standard edition person, or basically other. And what I mean by that is that if you have an EOD edition, you probably know, or if you do not know and you're a new player to the game, if you don't have EOD edition, you just have a knife. But if you do have EOD edition, you get the hatchet, and specifically you get the Kiva Arms hatchet thing. And back in the day, there was a clear difference between the Kiva Arms hatchet and also the knife. The difference is that the hatchet does way more damage than the knife ever did whatsoever. Even at minimal strength, you could two-hit somebody in the face with the hatchet and you can kill them. It didn't matter if it was a fully geared player, unless, well, as long as he didn't have a face shield on, you can kill him in 2 hits. If it was a scav that didn't have, or well, just basically anything that didn't have a face shield or a helmet on, you could 2-hit them right in the face or the head in general with the hatchet and you can kill them. Easy. Easy peasy. That's it. Not just that, but everybody could technically get the Kiva hatchet in general. You didn't have to get EOD edition, because you could just kill somebody that had the hatchet, you could pick it off their body, they would still get it back no matter what, because it was tied to their account, and you would be able to get it. And if you traded your melee tool out for the hatchet, then it would be in your inventory, and if you went into a game and you died, you would still have it, and if that person took it, they would have it. So essentially, at the start of the wipe, there'd be situations of people that didn't have the Kiva hatchet and people that did, which were the EOD edition people. And then it was kind of a, gotta kill somebody to get that hatchet so you could have a better melee tool. And back then, there was a reason to get a melee tool, because back then you could kill people with melee. And back then you could actually do a true, and I mean true, rags to riches run on any map that you wanted to go on. All you had to do was just get your hatchet and take nothing with you, basically becoming the hatchling. The old school, tried and true hatchling. You could sneak up to a scav without them knowing, or you could run up to a scav dodging his gunfire and smack him in the face with your melee, take all his gear, and then go on your merry way, kill a couple players. You can get out with some good loot. That used to be a viable thing that you used to be able to do way back when they didn't screw over melee. You even used to be able to go into factory or whatever map, closer quarters the better for the most part, but go in as a Chad and bring nothing with you but your melee tool, and basically run around the map with fort armor, the heaviest helmet that you could wear, and just punch some dude in the face that has super good loot, take his gun, go through the map, and kill everybody. You used to be able to do that. Again, you can't do that no more. Now, let's talk about the hatchling subject. And I know a lot of people find that a very touchy thing, and a lot of people do not like hatchlings whatsoever, especially the streamers. Streamers hate hatchlings with a burning passion. For me, I liked running as a hatchling because I ran as a hatchling as a challenge to try to get better gear. Yeah, I went as a hatchling to try to get those quest items and whatnot. That way I didn't have to risk my gear in order to get what I needed for a quest to progress higher into the game. But it was also fun at the same time to do it. a lot of other people, specifically the streamers, which do not run Hatchlings whatsoever, and they never did run Hatchlings, at least when they were live. And because of Hatchlings, I feel like is the reason why Melee got to the point to where it is now, and sucks. The strength skill also played a part with the whole Hatchling thing, or whole Melee thing in general, with giving Melee a nerf. The reason why is because with strength, if you get it up to level 50, your speed is doubled and you can throw grenades farther, you can jump higher. You basically become the $1 million man. Now, I don't necessarily know what the future of Melee and Escape from Tarkov is going to be like. I don't know with what they're going to be doing with it necessarily. I hope things do get better. I know they want to add things like some sort of assassination system into the game, maybe something along the lines of kind of like in Battlefield, how you can come up behind people and stab them in the back or whatever. I'm not talking about like in Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5 to where you can basically just bash their face in and go through a full animation doing that from any angle. I'm talking more of doing some sort of stealth kill thing from the back. Kind of like in Halo Reach, where you could assassinate people by going through an animation, at least from the rear. I know that they are going to be adding more melee weapons because there is the Cultist Blade that they are going to be adding into the game whenever they add the Cultist, which as far as we know right now, Cultist will be added in at a random point into the game. We don't know when. It's probably going to be between 12.7 and 12.8 or somewhere in that line somewhere. I don't know. That's just what they've said. They don't know either. They're just going to add them in randomly. Now, something that they could do that could fix a lot of these issues is they could just straight up take the melee system out of the game in its entirety. Because right now, melee is not used as it used to be used. Melee is not used at all right now. There might be some people that go out there and they might try to bash people's faces in. I'm sure there is. I'm sure people try to make that a hardcore challenge to where they just try to go out and kill a player with melee. That, for me, isn't necessarily fun. It's just trying to prove some sort of weird point that you are a misogynist person and you like pain in your life. But as the current system is right now for melee, it doesn't really have a place in the game at the moment, because you have all these other guns that are in the game, all these tools basically that can kill anybody from a long distance away. Doesn't matter. Plus, the only problem with a lot of the weapons right now is that there's a lot of imbalance that's currently going on at the moment. And until those imbalances are accomplished and fixed and not broken anymore, then we might see something that happens with melee. But as far as I know, I don't necessarily know. I don't think Battle State even knows either. Melee is something that I do want to see that does have some sort of additions given to it, making it more effective, making it better in general. But as it currently stands at the moment, it just sucks and does not have a place. Melee weapons are just a paperweight right now, and the only reason to have a melee weapon is so you can get to the Red Rebel, so you can use the extractions with the Red Rebel. But if you do want to find out every single stash location for the customs map, I have a video right here that you can click, as well as here is a random video for Escape from Tarkov, and you can also click on my face for subscribing to the YouTube channel. And I will see you guys next time, so peace. Thank you for watching.